is Wendy Garrido from OneAmazingMom.com, and I wanted to give you a little tip that will help you have a much easier time with your baby at the beginning and maybe for the rest of their lives. All of us, or many of us, end up having some sort of stress or trauma related to the birth experience. And even if it's not an out of the ordinary stress or trauma, just the birth experience itself can be, it's a shock for babies. It's totally different than what they've experienced till then. So one of the best ways that you can help your baby understand and release the intensity of the emotions that they're probably still carrying, and you may be too, after that birth experience, is to tell them the story of their birth. To tell it as many times as it takes until they seem to just be able to listen to it and stay calm. So with my daughter Shanti, she would sit there and just listen so intently and stare at us while we talked to her about just about any big picture, meaning of life things. And that was what she did for most of the time during when I was telling her about my birth story. Well, her birth story, our birth story. She just listened until I got to the part that was when I really had to dig deep. I had put aside this much resources for giving birth, and I had a beautiful, easy birth. And then, after it was over, I had to come up with this many resources again. And I ended up having to be transferred to the hospital, but that's a whole other story that I'll tell you in another video. But there was a point when I was not having fun anymore. Believe it or not, most of the birth was, I was connected to my meaning, my purpose, this is why I'm here, part of the process, and then it just got to be painful and I was tired and I just wanted to be done with it and over with it. And it was when I got to that point in the birth story with Shanti that they catheterized me that she just burst into tears crying. And so I explained what happened and why that happened and what happened after that, and put it in context for her and helped her understand that it all worked out okay. We're here together now. But that is when my midwife told me, you know, that's when it really started to affect her. She was okay with the birth process. She was okay with sort of the more moderate interventions that we were trying to do to get my placenta to come out. That was the issue. But that was when it really started to affect me, is when it really started to affect her, and that makes sense. So I told her several times since then the birth story, and at different times she'll have different responses to different parts of the story, but overall right now she'll listen, and I can tell that there aren't the emotional triggers there for her anymore. Any of our traumatic experiences, if we can process them and release that emotion, makes life easier and happier for all of us. So I truly believe that having told her her birth story several times until she understood it and could integrate it all is part of what makes her such a happy, easy baby that we can take anywhere. I would love your birth story. I'd also love to hear how it goes when you tell your baby about their birth story. And if you have any questions, email. Share this on Facebook, on Twitter, and by email with someone who you think would enjoy being able to just relax, give birth confidently, and raise a child who thrives. And if I haven't told you lately, you are amazing.